everyone. Let's just make sure this is all running okay. I think so. Okay. If you can see me okay. Oh, it's gone sideways, isn't it? Is it horizontal or vertical for everybody? Just let me know. Because if it's horizontal, I will change it. So if you're watching and this is the wrong orientation, so ideally I want it to be horizontal. Hi, Monica. Monica, is this horizontal or portrait? Because it's showing horizontal on one of my devices and portrait on the other. So that'd be great if you could let me know. It's vertical. Oh, that's a pain. Okay, let me just turn this round. Excuse me, everybody. I don't want to make anyone dizzy. But I will just turn that round. There we go. There we go. How's that? Does that look better? I suppose a lot of you are watching it on a phone. There we go. Okay. Oh, hopefully, well, I know you can hear me because you've answered my question. Hi, Monica. Thank you. And Barbara. Good afternoon. I've got to say good afternoon, not good morning. Jean, hi. How are you? And Jane and Pamela. Cynthia. Rando. Perfect. Yeah, all good now. A little bit wonky, isn't it? I feel like I need to straighten it up a little bit. Is that better? I'm terrible. I like them. I like things straight. Mind you, I don't know that my mat's straight at the moment. I might zoom you in ever so slightly. I'm just seeing what you can see. All good. Right, we've got Brenda. Hello from Northern Canada. How are you? It's very narrow. Yeah, it's what it is. I mean, I can bring it up, but you'll just see me. You'll see more of me and more of my desk. Let me see. A little bit on the slow side, catching up. Let me see. Can you see that? There we go. We'll see how we get on. The issue, see, you've got my belly hanging on the side there. The issue with this is that I didn't, by accident, I didn't actually set it up as a stream, which I usually do. I set it up on my phone, so never mind. It's the matte wood grain that's crooked. Yeah, so it is and it isn't. That's straight and that's not right. There we go. I can't carry on until that's straight. There we go. There we go. There we go. That'll do. This is wonky. This is at an angle, so don't worry about that. Right, okay. Let's get some crafting in, shall we? Dale, hello from Toronto. Betsy, good morning from Illinois. Yay, someone I can say good morning to. I've been saying good morning all day. It's 4 p.m. here. Christine from Southern Canada. Hello, Gillian Godfrey. Hi. Sue, lovely to have you all with us. So I'm going to do a quick run through of my new collection that launched today. I have pinned a link in the comments. The link in the comments is to the UK site. You will find the products on the US site as well. Oh, actually, I think there's actually 2 links in the comment. So they're all there at Craft Stash. They're only available at Craft Stash. So let's do a quick run through. There's a lot more detail. So on my channel, there is other videos that you can go and see with this. I put one out this morning with a tutorial. There's another one on there that's linked at the end of the tutorial for the overview. You'll find it all. From very southern Wisconsin, very southern. Suzanne, hello, how are you? Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. Okay, so this is the Textures, Wings and Things collection. So Wings and Things, as it says, it's not just one, it's not just butterflies, it's not just bumblebees. You've got dragonflies in here as well. You've got lots of other little insects too. I love the insects, they're so cute. So this is the Grungy Bee and Honeycomb. This is like a distress stamp, but it's 2-part. I'll briefly go through these. Over on Facebook today on the Craft Stash page, I did a really good in-depth view at all of these. So you can go and see that over there, or on my channel. So this is the bee. They're 2 parts, so you can put the bee into the honeycomb. You can stamp them in different ways. Let me see if I can just get you 1 or 2 examples. I don't want to be bombarding you with examples this time. Let's see. There we go. Just make sure you can see that. So you can see the honeycomb I've used in embossed gold, and the bee I've stamped in black. Lots of other ways to use that. I've got lots of, honestly, when I say I've got lots of examples, can I just show you these? Look at all of these. I could literally show you anything from that. It's ridiculous. There's so much I can show you using this collection. I don't want to bore you. I want to get into crafting. So we will run through the items quickly. So there's the one stamp set. Then I've got a very similar concept. I've got the dragonfly, really beautiful detailed dragonfly, and then you've got the brickwork in the background with the dragonfly cut out. So again, you can stamp the brickwork from one colour, you can stamp the dragonfly from another, or you can, of course, I keep going the wrong way, or you can use them separately. I'm just going to flick my camera around. Not my camera, there's something else I'm viewing my phone on, just so that I'm getting this the right way when I go back sideways. Let me see. Linda, hello from a not so sunny Florida. Hello, how are you? Bore you, you want to see them? Well, you can see them all as I play with them as well. I'm going to be demonstrating some of the items. We're going to do a little bit more mixed media today. I have got a bookmark that I'm going to be decorating. A bookmark? No. Door hanger. Not a bookmark. It's a bit big for a bookmark, isn't it? It's a door hanger. So 4 stamp sets, 4 die sets in this collection. Wow, thank you, Sue. Love the release so much. Thank you so much. I absolutely love it. I'm usually, when I get to this part of a launch of any collection, I'm kind of done with it. I was like, I love it, but I've crafted with it for weeks on end and I just want to switch to something else. But this I can just keep going. I've just got so many ideas with it. This one is my favorite of all the stamp sets, even out of the dies as well. I have to admit, it's definitely my favorite. I adore it. Okay, so the insect species chart is actually called on the website Vintage Bee Book Page. Not sure why. I wanted a book identification page sort of thing, but I've got bees in it somewhere. But there's a honeybee, but there's also other insects in there as well. So this is looks a bit dark now because I've been stamping. But if I take the stamp away, you can see a little more detail there. So lots of detail in the stamps, absolutely beautiful. This is actually where my favourite projects have come from this stamp set. So this one I did in the Facebook Live today. Really cool. Really love doing that. You've got them stamped in the background on this one too. What one did I do yesterday? Was it yesterday? I think I did the day before. I will come across, oh, here we go. Hang on, this card. Oh, I'll have to show you both these cards because I love both of these. I think this is my favourite project of all of them. Of all of them I've done for this. Hey, Sam, how are you? Haven't actually spoken to you today, Sam, have I? And I didn't call you yesterday either. I'm sorry. It got busy with the girl. Jean, love the new set with the bee. I'm so happy to join the live. Usually your others are a little too early for me. Yes, I just thought an afternoon one would be really nice this week. Collection really speaks to me. Oh, I'm glad. I'm really pleased. So this one is probably so far my favourite project that I've done. There is a tutorial. It is on my YouTube channel. It went up at 10 o'clock this morning, so there's a full tutorial for that one. And then there's another one. That one's actually in a magazine. But really cool. Very, very quick to do that one as well. There's step-by-step instructions in the magazine for that. This is a really cool stamp as well. So this is the halftone watercolour stamp. Watercolour splash halftone if you're searching it on the website. As you can see, I used a bit of green and blue earlier. I haven't cleaned it yet, but you've got 2 different splashes. Now this is perfect if you love mixed media, but you don't want to get messy. You're worried about whereabouts it's going to go. Where, you know, are you going to ruin your project by trying to put a bit of a watercolor splodge or splat or whatever you want to call it on there? With these, you're not going to. They're half tone, so you're going to get the deep colours and you're going to get the much lighter, paler shading there as well, all with one impression. And I will be using one of these on my project too. Then we go into the dies. Let's just check the comments. Oh, Jean, you've just watched that video. Yeah, thank you. I just loved it. I just really enjoyed using it. Lynn Harrison, hi Lou, missed the launch earlier, supposed to be packing now but decided it can wait. Oh, thank you. Just pack a little bit, just one now and then. What are you packing? Is it packing holiday, packing house? What are you packing? Parcels? I don't know. Linda loves the dragonfly. And Sam, you're trying to sort, oh, set your live setup. I see what you mean. Your cameras, your webcam arrived. It's great, isn't it? I'm not actually using it now. I'm on my phone because stupidly I did set up this live event on my phone and I didn't realize that I then couldn't switch it to be like a stream with the webcam. It has to be on my phone, so fingers crossed the internet will hold out, and I hope the image is okay, good enough on here. That's why it's vertical. I wanted it horizontal really, but never mind. So this is a die set. This is your layering bee and dragonfly, both of them in here. There's 3 layers to the dragonfly, 4 to the bumblebee, and as you can see, they are a really good size. They're still going to fit on things like, they'll fit on an A2 card, for example. I mean, they're big on that, but they will still fit on there if you're over in the US. UK, that's A6-ish. Sort of A6 size, so they will still fit on your smaller cards, but on your big ones they look fab. Let me just show you a few examples. I love them. Okay, we've got the bee here, so this is the bee, metallic bee, using those layers. It doesn't look, and that's that halftone stamp as well, embossed in silver. Let me see what else. We did the bee today. For those of you who did see the Facebook Live, we've got the bee in there all embossed up as well. And that is a die that I'm going to come to in a few moments. So I'll probably bring that one back. And the same with this one. There we go. There's your bee. I've used it so many times. I love it. Okay, I think that's, let me just make sure I haven't got, oh, hit the dragonfly. The dragonfly is exquisite. Honestly, look at the gorgeous detail, because the wings you can cut as many times as you like and just keep layering them up. Lynn's packing for a big holiday, Seattle and Alaska cruise. Wow, for your big birthday. Don't tell us which birthday, that's fine, but happy birthday if you've not had it already. I hope you have a lovely time. But no, that can wait. Honestly, you can pack in an hour. It's no problem. Yeah, they look so real, Susan. Thank you. Yeah, I love that. So that is the die set. Then another die set is this layering panel. Oh, sorry, floral panel. I'm so used to having layering panels, layering dies. This is 6 by 6 inches. Here's a couple of examples, or here's an example. So it actually cuts out into your card if you want it to. So if you cut it directly into your card base, you're going to get this sort of look. I've then cut it again in green, layered it over the top, because you do get the outer frame with it that's completely optional for you to use. I've then recut it again a 3rd and a 4th time, so both then from white, and I've cut out those white flowers and layered them up, a little bit of inking. It was a really quick card. I have got a tutorial. I filmed it as I did it, so I'm going to upload that as soon as I can, probably sometime early next week on the YouTube channel. Okay, so that is the floral one. That actually goes really nicely with the dragonfly, absolutely perfectly. Let me see. Oh, I love that one too with the hive. Yeah, we'll get through it. Yeah, we'll get into that one now actually. Ignore any. No, I'm not single. I'm very married. Thank you very much. Adele, hi, how are you? Hope you're well. Your first stamp, Jean, 31 years ago was a dragonfly. Was it really? Oh, it's a sign. It's a sign. So, okay. This one is your honeycomb. I've just shown you that already. 6 by 6. So that's that one. This is all from this die. So the packaging actually makes it look really quite plain, but the idea is it's 6 by 6, so both horizontally and vertically, and you can twist it. And if you twist it and layer it up, you then get this really cool see-through. You've also got this die here, And if I just turn that around, you can see you can cut out sections as well. So that's that die. Like I say, I think the packaging is a little bit deceiving, maybe because it looks a bit flat, a bit plain, and you can have, if you prefer clean and simple. Let me find a nice card actually that Monica did using just that panel just the once rather than layering it, and it looks like this. So as you can see, again, it's cutting into the cardstock, it's not cutting out an outer layer for you. Finally back into the crafting world. We're so glad to have you back. I didn't realise that had you left, had you had a break? I mean, I noticed you weren't in the comments on lives, but are you okay? Hope you're well anyway. Adele, sorry. So, look, gorgeous, gorgeous. Thank you. That's Monica's, by the way. Monica's in the chat. Loads of her beautiful cards here. So this one is that die again. I've actually crushed it. Look, you can see I've flattened it by putting things on it. But I've just domed the layers by cutting slightly larger layers and attaching them to a smaller panel, and then you get this dome shape. And again, I've twisted the die each time I cut it, so I get a slightly different look to the edge. And then we've got lastly the alphabet, because textures would not be textures if you didn't have an alphabet with it. I've just been busy and went away. Okay, I'm glad you're okay anyway. I know about being busy. Busiest week of my life this week, I think. Honestly, it's been crazy. So this is a brush script alphabet. This is what we call a core item. So although I've released this along with the Wings and Things collection, this is going to be, this one is actually, how do I put it? It's not going to always be out, like it will always come back in stock because it's a core item. We'll keep getting it back in. Does that make sense? So with the rest of the items, when the collections have sold out, they've sold out, and very often that's it. We don't get them back in. You just wait for new releases and see something new come out. This will be a staple. That's the word I was looking for, a staple in the range. Beautiful brush script, not brush script. So you've got every letter of the alphabet. Now, if you look carefully at the letters, each and every one has a little tail, and they actually lead into the next letter. So it's really easy to create joined up words of absolutely any spelling. Now on here, and this is my own little magnetic board that I've just made, I've actually got 2 sets because I had 2 sets, and it just makes it easier. You know, when you want 2 E's or 2 O's, it does make it easier to cut. I'm going to refer back to a card that I've already shown you actually, this one here, because this is where I've used it. And as you can see, each letter flows beautifully into the next one, and you just do not see the gaps in the letters, and they just look like they were meant to be. It's such a nice casual laid back font, really cool. It looks really nice if you team it with something bold as well, which I often do, sort of this plus maybe something from my word strips from my Sentiments for All pads like that. And yeah, so really handy die set to have. Okay, so I am very quickly, oh, I'm knocking my letters off, look, I don't want to do that. R goes up, oh, that's a V. Oh, I hope I haven't lost any now. Good idea to get yourself a magnetic mat. Right, so I am going to run you through the samples very quickly, just so you can see them, because they're, I mean, Monica's are absolutely beautiful. I've shown you a lot of these already. So you've seen, don't put anything on top of there. You've seen much of these. You've seen that one. These top ones you've seen. Okay. Okay, so white on white. If you are, you know, stuck for time, but you still need a really pretty card or something really elegant, just white on white. You can see that honeycomb there almost gives like a 3D look to it, along with the layered bumblebee. Absolutely perfect, just so quick and easy. And I've got the same with the dragonfly there. I did I think there's 4 layers of the wings there just to really build that up. On that floral panel, the floral panel has got foam pads underneath it, so I didn't actually cut that into my card base. I just stuck it on like flat but with foam pads. But yeah, so white on white is beautiful. Here's a gorgeous one with that floral panel, with a little bit of inking from Monica. This is just an example of something that I've done for the Craft Stash YouTube channel. And I did 10 ways with the layering bee and dragonfly die, and this was one of the examples I did to show how you can actually use the base die of either of the shapes and create yourself a stencil or a mask and ink around it, or you can do it vice versa. You can use the waste and ink inside it. So I just thought I'd show you that. This is a tag that I've done. I've actually done it as a reel, so Craft Stash is showing that at the moment on their channels. So making that die look like chipboard, nice and flat, lots of stamping in the background, really good fun. I actually didn't stitch into, this is like MDF, didn't stitch into it, but I found a way to add stitching like so. So I'm going to do a video on that as well, because I just think that's really good fun. As I showed you earlier, that's one that I did earlier. With the bee and dragonfly dies, I've actually cut them from foam and created my own stamps too. So on a thin acrylic block, yes, there's some ink on there. I'm not sure why, but that's fine. I've actually stuck the base of each of the two shapes on one side from foam and the detail on the other. And when you then stamp those, you've got yourself your own, look, there's ink everywhere. I don't know, ignore that bit, but you've got yourself your own layering stamp. Look at that. You can do that in any colours you want. That's ruined now anyway. Just some more examples. Oh, I'll just show you this one. This is this little mug, which is going to be absolutely perfect for Halloween, for example, in these colours. A little beetle. That's from the bumblebee. So if I put the two together, if you can see there, that's the bumblebee without the wings. So that's really cool. I'm going to lay that in my daughter's room and see if I can scare her. This is by Monica. She's done a fantastic job with all her cards. They're absolutely beautiful. So again, thank you, Monica. I know I keep saying thank you. That die is so beautiful, can be used as a stencil as well. Oh, yes, of course. Thank you. I love the ideas coming through, Monica. I love this release. So Cynthia, love this release. Bought it this morning, but got to go back to work. Ah, never mind. Sorry. M. Dobro, the floral panel is so versatile. It is, isn't it, that you can cut it in or cut it out. So there's the dragonfly with the watercolour underneath. I did say I wasn't going to sit and go through all of these, but I just think they're so cool. This is that fantastic identification one. Monica's obviously masked this off and just stamped individual insects where she wanted them to create like a bookmark or tag on there. I love that. And I'm assuming, Monica, you used the hexagon panel, the honeycomb panel, to make your own stencil there as well, unless that's what you were talking about, the stencil, maybe. Or were you talking about the floral? They can all be stencils. There's the metallic version with the bee. I think I've shown you that one. This one, I'm not sure if I've shown you on YouTube at all yet. So I actually stamped the identification, the insect species chart. I've just got it up there. I just used VersaFine and I stamped it. Or did I use StazOn? No, I think I used VersaFine. I stamped it onto canvas. You know, you get those really inexpensive canvas totes that are made for decorating, altering. Often craft and hobby stores do them for like £1, £2. I just ironed one of those, cut one of those up. So I had two of them because I had the front and back. And I popped it into an embroidery hoop, or stamped first, put it in an embroidery hoop, and then just used embroidery. And I've got to back it, but I just threaded through. I'm hoping you can see the detail on there. All the different coloured threads. Let's lift it up so you can see. And I had so much fun with that. I love that. It's going to go on my craft room wall. I've definitely shown you these ones. Monica did the gorgeous dragonfly with the brick wall in the background. I think I've shown you everything. A couple more, and then we're done. Then we'll start demonstrating. So I've got my pride bee. Of course, it's that time of year again. So be proud. And I've got my rainbow coloured honeycomb in the background. That is on the Craft Stash TikTok channel at the moment, how I did that. So that's a tutorial on there. So that's using the bee stamp that I showed you right at the beginning. And also using the same stamp is a mixed media page. The bee I've cut out. So I stamped it and actually cut it out and then stuck it over the top. I cut the stamp, Lou. Oh, did you? Oh, that's clever. If you want, you know, if you're happy to use it separately, then you can, can't you? Thank you. The embroidery isn't so beautiful close up because I don't generally embroider anything that's like really neat and tiny like that. I'm not usually that precise. But love the big bee, yeah. Big fluffy bee, looks gorgeous. And just in the background, you can just about see I've embossed the honeycomb in white there. Right, I think that's enough samples. We really need to get crafting, because that's what, well, I assume that's what you're here for, to see the crafting. I'll just pop these all to the side. And I am, as I say, I am going to do sort of an altered project today. I'm going to do, let's move these. I'm going to decorate this, I keep wanting to call it a bookmark, and it's not a bookmark at all. Let me just get my things together. So I'm going to be more using the stamps rather than the dies today. I am going to be using the big bumblebee as well. Let's see, so I don't think I need my dies today, so I will just put them on top of my die cutting machine. Okay, so I have already put some gesso, one thin layer of gesso over the top of this. Okay, so let's see. First we want to add some colour and texture to the background. I'm going to do that with one of the watercolour splats first of all, and I'm actually going to do it in black, which probably sounds a bit crazy. Why would I add colour or anything in black? I need to give this a good wipe though, because it has got some blue and green on it from, this is my wet wipe box, blue and green on it from my last crafting session. I've just remembered, no, the phone's not attached to the desk, so if I knock the desk it doesn't matter. Right, so these stamps are made up of tiny, tiny little dots. The entire image is tiny dots, and that means that where there's dots much closer together, you're going to get your deep dark shading, and where there's dots further apart, you're going to get much lighter shading. So you're getting tonal stamping all in one. I am going to just zoom out a little bit, make sure that you can all see okay. Is that good for everybody? Yeah. I'm trying to keep above where the comments are, kind of thing, for you. So I'm going to use black, hopefully you'll be able to see, and I'm going to use my hands for this because this doesn't really sit nicely inside a stamping platform. So I'm going in with my Distress ink in Black Soot, and the reason I love my Oxides, but the reason I'm using Distress ink is because I find it's a much more solid black, whereas a Distress Oxide is more of a grey, a charcoal grey. Now you can probably see already as I'm inking that it looks like it's patchy inking, and like some areas are darker than others, and they are because the dots are closer together, so it's holding, that's where it's holding on to the ink more. Okay, so I'm just thinking I'm probably going to, I always do this, give this a very, very light spritz, a light mist of water, because what that does is on the larger areas particularly, it just helps the ink kind of blend a little bit more so you see less of the dots. Now I'm going to turn this around so the darker area is at the bottom. Just for me, it feels less top heavy that way, and I'm just going to press this down. Like I say, I don't tend to I very rarely use my hands unless it's a big project like this, or I'm doing something mixed media where it's really so much in the background you're not going to be able to see it. Now, like I say, if you really don't like mixed media because it's messy, because it's unpredictable, these stamps are going to be perfect for you. So you've just got a really controlled splat. You can then go in and you can spritz a little bit more. So I'm just going to spritz those edges and allow that to bleed out, because I know that's not going to go any further than where I want it. And just mop up any excess and clean my stamp. Now obviously that reacts a lot differently on paper. We saw Monica's purple version, but if you were to take a piece of acetate, put your ink onto it, flip it over, you usually spritz it with water, flip it over and smoosh onto there, you never know where it's going to go. You have absolutely no idea. At least this way you are controlling the shape of the splat, exactly where it's going. It's not going to extend anywhere beyond the edges of the stamp, unless you want it to, of course. You can ink just part of the stamp and just kind of do that as a splat effect. So it just makes messy being messy a little less messy. I'm just going to whiz that dry for a second. The bee is cool, but I hope I don't meet a bee of that size in real life. No. Well, I don't mind if it's just a bee that's doing, you know, doing its own thing. Oh, has anyone heard about those Asian hornets? Not that I want to turn you off bugs at the moment, because, you know, I'm trying to sell you bugs. But those, blimey, those Asian hornets are huge. They're like 2 inches apparently. And they're all over the shop at the moment. Right, I am going to also, I think that's dry. There's a tiny little wet patch there, but that's fine. I'm going to use a bit of texture paste. Now I'm coming back to, I haven't got any stencils in this range, so I am coming back to a stencil. I made sure that this was still available for you. And this is in a set of 2. The other one is some falling leaves. This comes from my Magnolia Drive collection. I'm just going to use texture paste, just white. So I'm doing a monochrome background, but still getting as much texture as I can. And then I'm going to put colour over the top. Right, there we go. Now I know with the pea, I just had a little bit that was lifted up, so the pea's not going to look much like a pea. Oh, it's not too bad though. Just going to make sure there's nothing on the underneath, because if you get texture paste squelched through on the underneath, it's not good, not a good look. And I'm just going to, I'm just lifting it up so it's not sitting on the wet texture paste. See if I can get a little bit more on there. I try to fade it out rather than going right to the edge, just like so. Can you see that? Are you referring to the murder hornets? Is that what you call them? I know, you know, if you're allergic to things, bug bites like that, they can't be good, surely. They do look pretty murderous, I must admit. Not happy with them, but I don't fancy meeting one of those. But, you know, bumblebees, if they're just getting on with their business, I try not to bother them. My dog likes to try and catch them in his mouth, so I do have to be careful with him when we're out. Anything that buzzes, a fly, a wasp, he tries to bite them, or, you know, try and catch them while they're flying. I mean, he's got short stubby legs, he doesn't get very far, but if they are on the grass, you know, when they get a bit sleepy and they're just around. Right, I'm cleaning as I go. Okay, I've got some here. I've actually got some little hexagons. Now these came out of the hexagon die, that background die, so that's the one that makes this panel. And these are all the little bits that come out, and I actually cut a book page and I inked it. And I think I'm going to add a few of these because they're still pretty monochrome. I'd love to add the teal. I think the teal ones look beautiful, but as I said in my live earlier on Facebook, please do be very careful if you're using book pages. Proofread your book page first, because I have been caught out before. The book was The Devil Wears Prada. It was a gift to me. I think it was a 99p gift from somebody who I wasn't worried about keeping. I've lost my tweezers. Let me see. I've actually probably put my tweezers away somewhere very sensitive. I don't think that's them. So proofread to make sure that whatever words are on your book page, I'll keep these out, but they're not my favourite. So I'm just itching my eye. That side, yeah, among. So I'm just going to pop these on. You see, once you put them on, they kind of fade into the background. Hi Tiffany, how are you? Hey, someone else I can say good morning to. Because I'm always saying, I've been saying good morning and it's 4 p.m. here. I think I'm stuck. Well, yesterday I was up the previous night until, gone 1 p.m. 1 a.m. And I think I'm still catching up. I'm delirious. Right, so just adding these little book page hexagons in. But how cool does that watercolour splat look now? Good morning from Arizona. So we've got everyone in America starting to wake up now. What time is it over there? Right, there we go. So that's probably enough of those. There's so much going to go over the top of these. So who watching is loving the collection so far that's just launched today? Anyone just joining? Ah, don't forget your texture paste is wet. It's very wet. Let's get a wipe. I'm not worried about my project because, to be honest, there's so much going to go over the top. It's fine. It's 10:34 a.m. The Jean. Hi, D, sorry. 11:34 there. Hey, Ronald. Linda, 11:30 for you. Oh, I don't feel so bad for saying good morning to everybody earlier and then worrying because it was not morning. Right, so I'm going to go round the edge of this entire piece now. Tiffany, 8th. Oh, blimey, you're early. I must admit, though, first thing in the morning when I wake up. Now, my husband wakes up at 5 a.m. every morning. So that's, husband wakes up, that's my wake time. I get up with him. Well, I say get up. I sit myself up in bed. He brings me up a cup of tea. We have a little chat while he has his breakfast. Then he goes off to work. And I must spend at least an hour on social media. And it's the perfect time to sit and watch videos and all those sorts of things, because I just don't get time during the day. I mean, my kids are much older now, but they still want their mum for a lot. Blimey, you should have heard my daughter the other day. She was so poorly. She just wanted mummy, and she's 19 years old. You're on the West Coast. Oh, yeah, so you're the last ones up, aren't you? Tiffany, I keep meaning to speak to you and see, because I know you worked with some of my Mariposa collection. See if you want some of my, I've got a collection in mind. I'd love to send it to you. I will drop you a message. I will sort that out and see if you want to play with some in one of the next launches. You get up 4:30, Monica. Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it? Well, it's not. It's nice now while the sun's up, but in the winter it's awful. Right, now I have stamped, I'm going to stamp for you the insect species chart. And this is the one that Monica said she cut up. Oh, she did. She cut it up. There we go, this one. I've kept mine intact. So this is so... I'm just in love with this. This was one that I wanted. And you know when you want something, you've got a project in mind, you do the project and think, oh, but it can do that. Oh, but I could do that with it. And so on and so forth. Now I've got my Sizzix sticky grid in the bottom of my platform, so I'm not going to worry with my magnets because this is such a big die, it does get in the way. But as Monica said, if you don't like to use large dies, you can snip into this. There we go. Ugh. Adele loves this stamp. Look, I had ink already on my stamp, so I'm definitely not going to be moving anything. Shall we use the distress ink? I've not stamped in distress ink for a long time. I usually use it more for my mixed media project, you know, my watercolours and things like that, and my ink blending. And it's so rare to be using the ink nowadays. I just reach for my oxides all the time. But as I said earlier, definitely the ink to me is more of a black than the oxides are. The oxide black soot is more like a charcoal grey. I'll just get you up there. There we go. All the bugs. They're so cool, aren't they? I love them. So I cut those out earlier. I coloured them in with some alcohol pens to get them as bright as I could. And I've already cut them out. So I'm going to be naughty and leave that in my stamping platform and bring these in. There we go. What a great stamp. It's awesome, isn't it? Love it. I've got bugs flying around everywhere, but I don't know if I've lost any. Right, so here they are all coloured in. Now I knew you lot didn't want to sit there and watch me colour these in, cut them out, especially as I've actually gone round all the little bits as well. But I thought the bright colours on the black, the neutral, the monochrome background is going to look really cool. So I'm not quite sure whereabouts each one's going to be positioned. I think the, oh, I don't know. I feel like the winged things should be a bit more, it's almost, I almost want them as if they're coming out from under something, which I'll show you in a moment. Anyone got the creepy crawlies yet? Especially this one. It's like a cockroach, that one. So I'm going to bring them all in a bit more. I'm going to have them, so I almost want them all coming out of this area. Right, so who's shuddering? Hopefully no one. Hopefully you're okay. See, nice bright colours. Might even bring it in a bit more. See what I mean when I smudge my texture paste? It's fine. And what I've got here is this circle. This circle was from my Geometrics collection. I like early starts. It means I get to finish work at 2 p.m. Yeah, I get down here in my studio usually between 6 and 7 in the morning. Yep, Suzanne's got the shivers. Ugh, bugs. But they're not real, I promise. 6, 7 in the morning. Don't actually start work now until 8. Finish at 4:30. But I'm usually both sides. Like, oh, that's really cool. Sorry, I'll read that out in a second. Both sides, I work earlier and I'll finish later just because I love my job. And, you know, it doesn't feel like work. M. Dobro, give us your first name. I feel bad calling you M. Dobro. Let me know what your first name is. But this is a really good idea. You could use it as a do not disturb door hanger. Don't bug me. I think that's perfect. Absolutely brilliant. Bugs are my favourite, but they have to be stamps in real life. I can't go near butterflies. It's really strange because a lot of people love butterflies. I freak out if one comes near me. Honestly. Oh no, is it Marguerite? Am I saying that correctly? I'm terrible with names. Everyone who knows me knows I'm so bad with names. If it's not like Sam. Marguerite. I'll call you that for now. Tell me, correct me if I'm wrong. Right, now I'm going to use the bigger bumblebee because what I'm going to do is have this as a magnifying glass. Yes, hey, got it right. Thank you. I'm going to have this as a magnifying glass. I'm going to have it going over a section of this stamped bee, probably that way, so it looks like it's magnifying one of the insects from underneath. Okay, I'm hoping that will look fairly cool. So I might have to put some vellum under there as well. We'll position those afterwards. All right, so let's stamp this bee. Now, the detail in this bee as well is gorgeous. Yeah, D's the same as Tiffany. It's just stamps. Yep, absolutely fine. Not in real life. I've got a spider who I've called Wilfred in my bedroom because he's under my windowsill. And he's just near my dressing table and he's just there. He's just not doing anything. Lots of bugs in your jungle of a garden. My resident spider is Barry. Who calls anything Barry? I've just lost the stamp. There it is. Barry the spider. But they don't do any harm. I don't understand. Why are we so scared? I mean, me too. I don't want them near me. But why? Why are we so scared of them? It would be awesome for my son's college room door. Bug off. I love that. Okay, so memento. More than anything, the memento, because I'm going to actually be using my alcohol pens with this. But this is the juiciest of all my stamps at the moment. My VersaFine is really starting to get a bit faded. I've just had a craft stash order arrive today. I actually ordered loads of Tim Holtz bits. I should have done a little haul as well where is it? I don't even know. I think I've left it in my front room. Look at the bee. Look at the shading on the bee and all the detail. I ought to give that another coat. But isn't that pretty? It's so gorgeous. The dragonfly as well. Dragonfly stamp set is just stunning. So let's give him just one more, just get his body nice and black. All that floof, as I call it on my dogs. They're floof. I think I've actually got a bubble under my stamp, but it doesn't seem to have affected it. I'm not going to clean that. I'm just going to pop it back. But you notice on the packaging, actually you don't see quite as much detail as you do when you stamp it in real life. So these are available in bundles. I couldn't do scorpions. Absolutely not. No. Marguerite, bugs can bite you. Spider bites are annoying to happen. So we don't have any here that bite, not really. No bugs that bite, certainly not dangerous ones. I know there was the whole black widow thing a little while ago, but I never saw one. Did you draw the images? No, didn't draw them. I do sometimes. Some of my images I'll draw and I'll design, the floral ones, for example, but not the bug ones. So they're kind of, we take stock. I choose stock images only because of the time we have to be able to put this together. But then I lie. So I didn't draw the bee. I designed this bit around it. I designed those. That was, let me just see, what was the other stamp? The dragonfly. I did the brickwork, but the dragonfly again was a stock image. But you'll find that with a lot of companies, unless the artist says they hand draw. I'll never lie. I'll never say I hand draw unless I have. But yeah, so we take stock images and I rearrange them and redesign them digitally along with other images to build up an image. Does that make sense? Sam was telling Charlie a story about him, and Barry was the first name that came to mind. Fair enough. Oh, Tiny Dirt Potato. I forget your first name. I apologise. Let me know. I like to call you by your first name on YouTube if you can. So I have got, this is so simple to colour in this image. It's ridiculous. One pen, one alcohol pen. I'm 6'2" and scared of spiders. I don't know many people. Do you know what? My husband will say, you little wusses, there's nothing wrong with spiders. Why are you so scared of them? But when I ask him to move one, he doesn't. Leave it there. It's fine. It doesn't need moving. And I'm like, well, it's in my way, you know, and the kids are freaking out. He won't touch it. So is he scared? Do we think he's actually scared? Marie, thank you, Marie. See, I knew that. I did know that, didn't I? I am actually going to switch my scissors because these are my favourite. I have had these years, absolutely years. But I've just noticed the past week or so, they're not quite as sharp at the end anymore. These are Fiskars embroidery scissors. I've always used them for fussy cutting. They're just feeling a little bit off now. They're not expensive. I'm going to buy myself another pair. But I came across these earlier. I'm just going to see what they feel a bit. They don't feel as snippy, right? Yeah, I'm not convinced. So let's see what it's the end. I want the end point to be snippy, really good snippy. Let me see when we get to the end. I don't tend to use the end much, to be fair. I use the middle bit. Let's see. Oh yeah, no, they're not really. See, there's about 2 millimeters from the end where it's not quite cutting. That doesn't do it for me. My dog's left my office because we have a fly in our house that is bugging him today. Oh, yeah, my dog will try and eat it. Silly little legs, he'd still try and jump in midair. I actually don't need to cut this entire image out. I'm going to cut half of it out and see what I actually need. Because if I cut it all out, it's a waste of time, my time and yours. Right, let's go over this side. I don't feel comfortable cutting on this side of the line. So, random question, but something I always like to know because we're a bit stuck tonight. What's everyone having for dinner tonight? You know, it's coming up for 5 p.m. in the UK. What's the plans? It's Friday night. And what are the weekend plans? Anything good? Is anyone just on the wine tonight? I think I need it after this week. I have had a horrendous week. My daughter's been in hospital. She's getting better, but she was so poorly. It was quite a worry. They wanted to send her an ambulance on Wednesday night. And then I get a call from the ambulance service to say, is there any way you can get her there yourself? Because we are looking at a 6-hour wait. Wow. But thankfully, we got her up there. It's quite a drive from our house. We got her up there and she literally passed out as soon as she got there. So it's fine. We got her there just in time. Her blood pressure was far too low. paper. All from a tummy bug, would you believe? Ordering Chinese. Oh, Sam, I'll be round in about 6 hours. See, I think, yeah, I just need to get, I can get away with not doing these legs. Aldi, cauliflower pizza? Is that the base made out of cauliflower? I've seen people do that, actually. Broiled steak, broccoli and rice. What have we got? Oh, we've got shepherd's pie. I think my husband's making it now because I'm sure I can smell it. He came in just after 4. Fish chips. Oh, it's Friday. Got to have fish Friday. I don't need to do this bit either, do I? Anyone else get carried away when they're fussy cutting and just cut everything? Fish and chips. Yep, Friday fish and chips. I'm not a fan of fish, so wouldn't be having that anyway. But I know it's a UK thing to have fish on a Friday. Anyone in America? Is it? It's not a worldwide thing, is it? Fish on a Friday. Just back from work having sausage butty. Classic. There. So that is going to go something like that, I think. So it's going to sit there and look like it's just magnified some of the bugs. Linda Sheridan, yes, it's the base. It's the best gluten-free pizza ever. Still on. It's a bit early, isn't it, Tiffany, to be thinking about your dinner? I don't blame you. Mind you, my husband, like I say, 5 o'clock in the morning, what we're going to have for dinner tonight? Well, I don't know. I can't think about it that early. Just not happening. Wish my husband would cook dinner. Oh, he's a godsend, honestly. Marie, pasta salad today. I think my daughter's having crackers. Plain crackers. Did do her a bit of potato at lunch and she seems, well, I'm hiding in here, but I think she's been all right with it. I think it's stayed down. I've not heard the toilet flush. That's a result. There we go. That's going to go that way or that. Yeah, I think that way. We'll pop that on there. Can you see why I did the dark background now? Now, none of these, I don't want any of these bugs showing under the magnifying glass. It's like the magnifying glass is only going to be for the bee. We'll have to try that, Linda. Yeah, try it. Gluten-free. So my daughter's vegetarian. So she eats all that sort of thing. Everyone's cauliflower pizza. Fish on Friday during Lent for Catholics in the US. Oh, okay. Is that right? I never knew. I am the most gullible person in the world, by the way. You can tell me anything. Absolutely anything. And I will believe you. I'm sure you're right there. Fish fries are all over. Oh, so it is not just a UK thing then. But we have fish and chip shops. We've got a fish and chip shop near us. It's all right. It's not the best. But I grew up in the town that actually had one of the best chip shops in our county. So then to come here, it's not as good. It's a fun, yeah. It's fun. It's not my usual style, I must admit, because obviously it's a shame, really. This sort of style, sort of your vintage, grungy, that's normally my style. But I just thought, you know what? Let's just do a bit of colour today and just see how I get on. Where's the other one? There was another tag I did, I'm sure there was. Oh yeah, another tag. See, look, just muted tones. That's just what I tend to do. Hey ho. Generally wonder what I'm having for dinner whilst I'm eating my lunch. So we do a weekly shop. We do a weekly shop and it's all planned out until someone has to go to hospital and messes up the plan. So tonight we're eating Thursday night's dinner and so on and so forth. I'll forgive her one day. Very interesting to say the least. Is that a good thing? You may have answered this. What's your favourite part of this collection? Me is this stamp. 100% this stamp. I just think there's so much you can do with it because it can be a background or it can be a focal piece. Definitely. There we go. So that's going to go on. I think I'm going to raise that up as well on a bit of foam. Do we need parchment? I think we need a little bit of vellum under that as well. I'm sure I've got some here. I had a sort out of my craft room the other day, and now I can't find anything. I've hardly moved anything far, but everything seems to have gone walkabouts. Right, brand new vellum. Saved me hunting for a little bit. Yeah, definitely. I love this stamp, the insect stamp. Funnily enough, looking at the sales earlier, it was the big B. I think that one was in the lead. There was yeah, and the dies as well. The big B die, big B and dragonfly die. Right, so glue. I think the vellum is just going to make it look a bit more like glass, magnifying glass, something like that. So pop that on there. And cut round that. Look, because you can see it'll just mute out anything underneath it a little bit, giving those time to dry as well. I'm just using the same glue for almost everything. So the book binding glue from Creative Craft Products. Whoop. Got loads of... So it seems like it's going to be cauliflower or fish tonight then. This weekend then, right, weekend plans. Do you know what, this week has just been so crazy. It doesn't even feel like it's the weekend. And so we're for anyone who doesn't know, because I haven't been live on YouTube for a while. God, it's been ages. We're actually renovating a house at the moment. Still, 18 months later. Full renovation though. And we've not done so much the last few weeks. We had a wedding last weekend, and the weekend before that I was shopping for the wedding, of course. So, oh, what have I not glued down? That one. So this weekend we do really need to get back on top of the renovations just a little bit, I think. I'm going to do some splatting. Making birria tacos. I've never heard of those. What are they? Let me know. I don't, I'm not very experimental with my food. Do I need to be looking these up and making them though? Or that means getting my husband to make them. Right, so I'm doing lots of black splats. Let's darken this up because, you know, got to go back to my roots. Now, when you've got a spray bottle, I've got a load of these where the pump has actually just seized up, probably clogged up, dried up and things like that. So I just unscrew it. Just do some little presses with it unscrewed. Not enough to spray it out because I've got a white wall here. I'm going to end up with black on them. Just enough to bring the liquid up into the tube. Now this is where it gets messy, but I'm just going to then press and look, you get big splats. I love them big splats. Splat, splat, splat. Don't put that away yet. Let's get some cotton as well. This is more me. So I'm going with black cotton. Under there. Do you know what I just did? I just blew on it. I just went to try and dry it. Louise, get some kitchen towel, dip the tip in, just absorb some of that excess before I attempt. There. Carmen, hi, how are you? Are you well? Birria tacos. Right, that is beef that's cooked in lots of seasonings and peppers. They're my favourite. Could eat a different style taco every day. We don't have many tacos here. We do make tacos. That sounds very similar to some we make. So maybe we make them, we don't even realise. Hey, I cook international food. I doubt it. Right, so that's going to go there. I'm not actually going to glue that down. I am getting mucky. I'm not going to glue that down because I'm going to put foam. That's pretty much going to hold most of it. Let's put a little bit on here. Tiffany, have you got any classes coming up? I often see you've got different classes. So get your emails. What's your next one? Cauliflower. Everyone's talking about cauliflower pizza. Never heard of it until this. I mean, I'd heard. What is it? Oh no, cauliflower steaks is something I thought I might do my daughter one day. Like I say, she's vegetarian, which is quite a nuisance in a house full of meat eaters, but each to their own. Try and spread those a little bit more. Overhang that slightly. That is pretty much going to hold that thread down. That's looking proper messy. Shall we wrap this up with a sentiment? Well, I've actually got, these are cool. I just love food. We all love food. I must admit, I love fruit. It's ridiculous. I love fruit and veg. I should have probably been vegetarian. I love my fruit. Anything like apple crumble. See, loads of sugar. I always say, so sometimes we have apple crumble at home and I'll eat it for breakfast. And I say, well, look, it's got oats in it, in the crumble. It's got fruit in it. If you put cream on it, it's got dairy. What's wrong with that for a breakfast? I don't think there's anything wrong with that for breakfast then. Trifle. Trifle's got fruit in it. Trifle's got milk, dairy as well. Oh, I'm going to go crazy with this one. I do have a distress crayon class. Somebody was asking me about distress crayons and I said I haven't got any yet because I don't really know how to use them. So, right, I'm going to look back through my emails. That'll be fun. I actually really need to restock my, before I be buying anything new, I need to restock my inks. I got them out after I built this studio. So how long have I been in here? Sam, when did I move in my studio? It was a little while ago. This is just adding texture into the background. It doesn't really matter what these say. But since I moved in, I've kind of managed to get all my mediums out again. And all of my inks are just clogged up, not spraying. I really need to start replacing a lot of them. Right, this has gone a little bit crazy, this piece. This is totally, I mean, I'll say this isn't where I expected it to go. I don't know really what I expected from this tonight because I spent so long preparing for the Facebook, the Craft Stash Facebook Live at lunchtime. And I did 2 really in-depth tutorials. If anyone joined me there, hi Julie. Julie's looking forward to Tiffany's class. Is that live, Tiffany, or is that a pre-recorded one? It's like they're usually live, aren't they? I spent so long preparing for the Facebook Live this morning, and then I forgot that I had this one to do. So this was like a quick, oh crap, what do I do? Okay, so far we've got bugs, we've got splatter. The splatter's black, so I could have done it in red, it would have been hilarious, but it's not Halloween. And lastly, I was going to do, no, I would be completely lost without you because it's kind of a magnifying glass. You can put any sentiment you want on there. This is my Textures Sentiments for All paper pack. Every sheet, you get quite a few of them in the pack, but you get them in both the black and white, the alternatives of each. So every sentence, every phrase, you get in both black and white in this cool typewriter font, and you just cut out what you need. I'm very often cutting into them. I would be... Bee, look, bumblebee. I think I'm going delirious, lack of sleep. Crazy week, lost. Without you. I'd be lost without you guys. There we go. Let's see. I need to get this feeling a little more balanced. I actually usually end up looking at it through my camera, so through my screen, because it looks a little bit different. Margarita, thank you. First time. Hi, Angie from Michigan. How are you? I'm kind of starting to finish up now, but thank you so much for joining. I'm sure you can go back and watch from the beginning if you want to hear me nattering and see the rest of the collection. Love the magnifying glass. You did that with the dragonfly earlier. Oh, yes, I did it with this one. So this is obviously that stamp all in order as well. Oh, Tiffany, thank you. I love you. I didn't ask for anything, I promise. You're wonderful. And I used the larger dragonfly stamp and did exactly pretty much as I've done here and magnified it. So thank you, Tiffany. You're amazing. Watching from China. Hey, Venice. Very pretty name. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Yvette. You're so kind. Hey, Debbie Bonner, you're late. We'll have to watch the replay. Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure you can watch it all over again if you want to. Oh, I've really missed doing YouTube lives. Must do it more. I will sort out an evening. I think evening's a good time because then everyone over in the States can kind of start joining as well, even if it's 8:30 in the morning. Love the magnifying dragonfly. Yeah, this is, I was saying earlier actually, so this is more my style. Usually the grungy, a little more tonal, a little more put together. I've gone a bit crazy today. Kind of didn't plan it. I wanted to put some colour into it. I think there's a few bits. I think there's probably a few things I'll do. I'll fiddle with it for a little bit longer, but it's basically an explosion of bugs and grunge and mess. But it's been really good fun. And do you know what the best bit has been? Just chatting with you guys for the first time in ages. It's been great. I miss your Wednesday mornings for me. Yeah, I still do Wednesday mornings on Facebook, but it was just with the internet here. I'm in a rural town and we haven't got the best internet. So when it came to live streaming onto two platforms, I was finding that very often one of the platforms would start to be a bit glitchy. And I didn't want that. I wanted to make sure that I get a clear live for whoever I'm going out to. So Facebook at the time was the strongest audience. So I've carried on doing Wednesday mornings there. But you know, I've really enjoyed this. This has been great. So I think maybe Friday evenings, perhaps this might become a bit more regular. How about that? But yeah, come over to Facebook, Debbie. If you're on there, I'm on there. It's just Collins Crafts. You'll find me there. Hi, Corinne, sorry, from Canada. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Ginny. I'm hot now. I've been talking all day. That's great. So thank you all so much for joining me. I think I'm done. I think you've seen all the collection. Is there anything else I need to show you? I don't think so. I think I'm just going to end saying goodbye and putting lots of bits in here. Lots of things you haven't seen. So big dragonflies. Love doing that. That's such a quick and simple. I have got loads and loads of videos. So I've got a video doing this, a video creating this one, a video creating this one as well. Oh, I've actually got a video talking you through this one too, all coming up on my YouTube channel over the next week or so. So they're all going to start be uploaded now the collection has been released. Let's take a look at another look at that stamp. Everything's available. There's a link pinned, and that's got a link to both the Craft Stash UK and US stores. That's where you'll find all of my textures products. But this has been the launch of the Wings and Things collection, just launched kind of last night for Craft Stash VIPs and then this morning for everyone else. This is what I made during the Facebook Live. So if you're on Facebook, go and find Craft Stash. You'll be able to watch me make this one. And I made another one. Where's the other one? My clipboard. Try and dig that out. Oh, I've got so much here. It's crazy. I think I'm going to do what I always tell myself I shouldn't do. It's Friday. I'm going to turn the lights off, turn the computer off and walk straight out of the office, my studio, and leave it. And Monday morning I'm going to come in here and I'm going to swear that I didn't tidy it up I'm going to curse myself. I also made this live as well. So on Facebook, you can find those. These are, like I say, these are more my style. It's been just crazy today. Why did I choose to go like this? But it's been fun. It's different, isn't it? It's a good time for you. Yeah, okay. I think definitely. Yeah, call me Monday, Sam. I'll be here. I'll be here today. I need to catch up from this week. Have a good weekend, everybody. Thank you, Adele and Melly. Right, love you all. You're all great. And I'll speak to you all. Fingers crossed, maybe Friday next week. What do you say? Shall I meet you here? Should we do something different? I've just got loads of Tim Holtz stuff posts. Let's do that Friday. We'll do an art journal page or something. Okay. Great weekend, everybody. And take care. I've got to figure out how to end this live now, so I've got to stand up. See you all soon.